Welcome to another episode. Today the question is, what is stress, both positive and negative? I'll repeat the question. What is stress, both positive and negative? Stress is an individual's response to change in circumstance or to a threatening situation. It can be viewed as a personal reaction to an external event, demand, or an internal state of mind. It can be both external or internal state of mind, or external situation, and it is the response of the individual to that situation. When something happens to us, we automatically evaluate the situation mentally. We decide if it is threatening to us, how we need to respond, how we need to deal with the situation, and the skills we can use to handle that situation. That we evaluate. If we decide that the demands of the situation outweigh the skills we have, then we label the situation as stressful and react with the classic stress response. If we decide that our coping skills outweigh the demands of the situation, then we don't see it as stressful. That is, a situation arises, we evaluate it. If we think our skills are good enough to handle that smoothly, then there is no stress. But if we feel that we don't have enough skill to handle that situation, then the stress arises. Then the situation is stressful. The event is stressful. Not all situations are labeled as stressful, and not all situations are negative stress. But there are some positive stresses. The birth of a child, being promoted at work, or moving to a new home, all these are stressful. But it is not threatening, and it is not negative, because at the end, a new baby is going to come to your house, and you are moving to a big home, and in job the promotion gives you more salary, power, position, etc. All these are positive, but it involves stress, because when a baby is going to come, when your wife is pregnant, there are a whole lot of situations you will have to deal with that. Both the parents, they have to take care of the kid, or going to the hospital, taking care of the health. All this involves stress. And when the baby is born, for a long time you will have to take care of it. All these are stressful, but if one wants a baby, then it is a positive stress. Similarly, moving to a new home, maybe most probably there are mortgages, loans, which you will have to repay. The shifting, new circumstances, new surroundings, all this may be stressful. But still, you own a home and you are moving to your own home. That is positive side of the stress. Similarly, promotion in work, that entails new responsibilities. There may be more people reporting to you. You may have to handle more problems. But still, that is positive, because that is what you have been waiting for. A promotion, more power, more money, more recognition. So that may be a positive stress. So stress can spur us on to achieve the best. For example, athletes often break world records under stress and pressure of the Olympics. The stress, to a certain extent, propels you to achieve the impossible or go to your own limits. So a moderate amount of stress motivates us to write a term paper, prepare for an exam, or in sports, achieve the limits and it is positive and necessary. Therefore, a certain amount of stress is desirable, but too much is a problem, and continuous stress is a problem because it affects both mental as well as physical health. Positive stress has the following characteristics: it motivates, focuses energy, is short term, and is perceived as within our coping abilities. It is a limits, but it is still within our coping abilities. Feels exciting, it improves performance. These are the traits of the positive stress. In contrast, negative stress has the following characteristics: it causes anxiety or concern, can be short or long term, is perceived as outside of our coping abilities, feels unpleasant, decreases performance, can lead to mental and physical problems. So this is a characteristic of the negative stress. So there are two stories. The stories you might have already heard, but anyway, with this context I will tell you. The first story is about the lecturer in the class. He was holding a glass of water. He asked the people what is the weight of the students who were assembled there. So he asked them, what is the weight of the water? People told 20 gram, 200 gram, 500 gram, various figures. Then the lecturer replied, maybe it is 200 or 250 gram, but that is not the criteria. The absolute weight does not matter. How long you hold it, that is the problem. If you hold it for a minute, it is fine. You will simply hold it and it is not a problem. If you hold it for half an hour, then it becomes a problem. And if you are asked to hold it for 1 hour without shaking, without spilling the water, then there is going to be a big ache in your arm. You are unable to hold it. And it is a huge stress if it is going to be further. If you are asked to hold it for half a day or 1 day, then it is a big stress. Maybe you will faint. Maybe you will ambulance had to be called. In each case, it is the same weight. Whether you hold it for 1 minute, half an hour, 1 hour, half a day or 1 day, it is the same weight. But the longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. So, though our absolute weight is same, the stress is more. And this is the way of the stress. If you carry the burdens all the time, then sooner or later the burden becomes unbearable. You carry it longer, it becomes unbearable, heavy. We won't be able to carry it on. As with the glass of water, you put it down for a while, rest your arms, your body, and then take it up again. Then you are fresh. Then there is no problem. So with all your burdens, before you go home from your office or college or whatever, leave all the burden. Go fresh to your home. Relax. Enjoy with the family. Relax with the family. Don't carry the office burdens or college burdens to your home. Then you become stressful. When you leave it aside and relax, then next morning you are refreshed. You are able to handle the problems afresh. And it does not affect you mentally or physically. So there is another story, small story by Osho from his book, The Revolution. Don't get stressed out. You can come out of it. So there was a girl who learned that compulsive emotional reactions are called stress. The more she learned, the more stress she discovered. This is like the people who read about some disease or sickness, then they feel they have the similar symptoms and they see it everywhere. So since she studied about stress, she saw everywhere the stress. For her, the job became a stress, The improper fit of her dress became a stress. The garbage outside her house was a stress. The washing the dishes was a stress. And now stresses are tricky things. They can be redirected. And the girl had a boyfriend. And she reminded her boyfriend that she is having a stressful life. And the dinner she was having asparagus. And she told, I'm stressed with this dish. I hate it. And the theater, she was telling her friend, I can't stand waiting in the lines. It's a stress. And the boyfriend thought about it. For everything, this girl has started telling stress. So he could not contain himself because this is coming up every now and then. And she has started telling him also, you are becoming a stress. So he explained her. The situations are not really a stress. It is within you, within your mind. It is only a catalyst, a trigger to make you feel the stress inside, which is already inside you. The girl thought about it. It was logical. All the stress is within her. External situations remains as it is always. But that triggered her what is in her, within her. So she could not come up with anything. So she was full of anger. And she directed it again against him. Now you are a catalyst, she started telling. And it's a joke. God explains, stress is within us. The story explains that stress is within you, how you feel. So if it has some situation is you are not able to cope up with it, break it down into 2-3 divisions, attack it one by one. Or if it is required, get external help, somebody, a friend, advisor, something. So that you don't feel the stress. It is for you to handle the stress. External situations will come, which you cannot avoid. Whether it is in office or in your personal life. But handle it. Get over it. So this is our answer to the question about positive and negative stress. With this we will end this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel. Share my video. Thank you.